like to ask you specifically what you remember about building the stake center.
Yeah, very much. I have several memories. Um, there were a group of us. We're in the 12 and 13-year-old range. This was in the wartime, and we had a lot of individuals who participated. It was called sweat equity in putting up the stake center. We brought the bricks in, and we were at 12, 13-year-olds. We figured we could do anything, and so we unloaded the bricks. We put them in a pile, but we weren't big enough to handle a full load in a wheelbarrow going up the ramps. Joe Strong and Milt Strong were a couple of bricklayers from Raymond, and those two were a class act. They would keep you laughing and running and chasing every way. And so what we would do is we'd load as many bricks as we could handle in a wheelbarrow, and then one would be pulling on the wheelbarrow and another one pushing. We'd go up the ramp up to get up to the level to where they were laying the bricks. And so we would do this, and we had a few spills, but we managed to take care of them. And then Joe and Milt Strong, being the interesting guys that they set us off for left-handed monkey wrenches and left-handed hammers and right-handed hammers and all kinds of tools and stuff like that. And of course, we were gullible enough that we would go chasing after them because the bricklayers needed them. So it was kind of fun. But what equity put into that building by the members of the church. Now, another story was that this was wartime, and there was a shortage of steel. All the steel had gone to produce armaments for the Second World War. And they needed headers for the doors and windows, because if you're going to build a brick wall with a window in it, you got to have some kind of a header to put across the top of the window and across the top of the doors. And so my father, who had a business where he traveled a lot onto the different farms throughout southern Alberta, as he would go to the farms, he'd look for scrap steel, and he'd pick it up and carry it in the trunk of his car and bring it back. And then it was angle iron usually, and we would take this scrap steel and cut it to the appropriate lengths and use it for the headers on the windows and on the doors in that stake center. And I can remember, of course, the building is burned down, but I can remember you could still look up at the top of the headers and see the holes for just old machinery on the headers on the steel on the windows.